We are going to study about dysphagia, difficulty in swallowing. Logically think, Ashiq cannot swallow something. There can be two reasons. One is called, one is called motility problem. My esophagus is not working, food is not going. Other, there is a mechanical problem. There is an obstruction inside, There is a mass inside, there is a tumor inside, maybe we don't know. So generally we classify dysphagia. Normally we say we can classify dysphagia, difficulty in swallowing, into two types. One is, as I told, the problem in motility, or it can be an issue with what? Something like mechanical. In motility, if my esophagus is not moving, there is no issue. Like I don't want to think, I can't eat or drink. So the problem is with what? Both solid and liquids. Both solid and liquids. There is no progressive or nothing like this. It is mechanical. Imagine I got a tumor. Tumor will grow. So first I can move liquid, Liquid is moving, Progressively I cannot even move what? Liquid. So it is called progressive. So it means first I have difficulty in solid. Gradually I can't even eat liquid also. That is called progressive. So both the solids and liquids. So first mainly for solid, obstruction there, So that is here, that is called motility, and here it is called what? Mechanical. So it is a tone of esophagus. Mainly we concerned with here the problem in lower esophageal sphincter. Here it can be tumor or some mass or some foreign body, anything, we can expect anything. We don't care. In both the cases, we do barium swallow and an endoscopy and biopsy, Both cases I have to do that to make sure. A barium swallow X-ray, barium swallow. Here also I have to do a barium swallow. After that, I'll be doing an endo and biopsy to rule out any foreign body or any obstruction, which mass is there, cancer. Here also I do endo and biopsy. But always remember, here I told you the problem is a tone of esophagus or pressure, how they are working. So if they ask you anything about motility related with dysphagia of solid and liquid, and you understand the problem is in esophagus pressure or movement, the best scan for here, we do something called pressure manometry. What is the correct answer? Manometry. Best diagnostic scan. But if the question is about cancer or tumor in esophagus, sure, I won't choose manometry as the best answer. Best will be what? Endoscopy and biopsy. I'm repeating, we can do both of the scan in both the cases. The best for mechanical will be endo and biopsy. Best for dysphagia will be what? Dysphagia because of motility reason, that will be manometry. So let's do here, what are the main motility problem? There is a world famous disease, commonly in the exam, Achalasia cardia. Very common in a country called South America. You remember Chagas disease, common with Trypanosoma cruzi, kissing bug, triatomic bug, winged. So Trypanosoma cruzi will cause it. Trypanosoma cruzi, or we can say anatomically, absence of myndric plexus. Anatomically or physiologically, we have esophageal movement because. So you will have increased resting tone of lower esophageal sphincter. They won't be relaxing, So you will have increased resting tone of lower esophageal sphincter. Imagine this is my esophagus. So it must open to the stomach like this. Here in this case, there will be a tone, the LES, lower esophagus, there will be like increased, narrowed. As a result, what will happen? You can see dilated esophagus. Esophagus will be dilated. So you can see an appearance here that is called bird's beak appearance. So in the X-ray, wherever you see bird's beak appearance, sure, we are talking about Achalasia cardia. So to confirm the diagnosis, sure, I told you the best one will be manometry, first one, initial and best. Then to rule out other things, we do what? Barium swallow, along with what? Endoscopy and biopsy will be done. Endo and biopsy. But the best always will be manometry, the first one, because we must be careful about the pressure difference there. Now, how you treat this? We have different treatment method here. We can use botulinum toxin, like they can relax the lower esophageal sphincter, or we can do dilation of sphincter, dilation of esophagus, manual dilation, or I can do myotomy. But when you choose these answers, botulinum toxin we can use, but remember, they does not last. You have to use it again. They does not, what is the problem here? Does not last long. So we do this only in non-surgical candidate. Non-surgical candidate. Dilation, manual dilation we do of the sphincter or the esophagus. The problem here, they will cause you perforation. Perforation. So complication will be perforation. So the best always for achalasia cardia will be what? Myotomy. If the patient is ready for surgery, sure you can go for myotomy. But always do follow up of the patient. Patient is at high risk of having what? GERD, gastroesophageal reflux disease. Next one, we already talked here before, that disease that will cause problem in swallowing the food, scleroderma. You remember, there will be collagen deposition in lower esophageal sphincter or esophagus as a result of what? The tone of esophagus will be lost. So esophageal dysmotility or esophagus lost, or we call it as there is esophageal fibrosis. What is happening? Esophageal fibrosis. This collagen will deposit along the esophagus. Remember, just reminding you, you remember crust syndrome, right? We will have anti-syndromic antibody here. Anti-syndromic antibody, we discussed about it, calcinosis, Raynaud's phenomenon, esophageal, or if it is a systemic scleroderma, we see anti-SCL antibody, so you will go for serology and all, right? Then here also for diagnosing, we do what? Manometry. Then here also we can do the barium swallow. Then you can again do what? Endo and biopsy. Here the patient will have what? A repeated or GERD. Repeated GERD again and again. GERD will be a symptom. Treatment what we give here? Proton pump inhibitor. Symptomatic therapy you can give. Proton pump inhibitor. Then the last one, that is called, I'm talking about motility disorder. We have something called diffuse esophageal spasm. Diffuse esophageal spasm. So the esophagus will be contracting, esophagus muscle. So it will mimic or something like retrosternal chest pain. Retrosternal chest pain. So patient come and say, doctor, I am having like MI like symptoms. Patient won't say heart attack, doctor, like pain here. So rule out MI first by doing a coronography. If there is nothing in coronography or ECG, you rule out coronography. There is no problem with the heart. Sure, the problem is in esophagus. So there is some like problem related with the digestive system they will be giving you. Here the esophagus is having what? Too much muscle tone or spasm is happening. So if once you rule out the ECG is normal, no problem in the heart, diagnose DES. So here you take an X-ray, you can see corkscrew appearance. Corkscrew appearance. To stop the spasm, we can try calcium channel blocker, or for reducing the retrosternal pain, we can even give the patient what? Nitrates, symptomatic therapy. So remember, don't confuse DUS with what? MI, rule out it by taking a coronography and confirm it by doing an X-ray. All these cases, here also you can check diagnosing what we do, manometry, right? Then you can do a swallow, barium swallow here also. endoscopy and biopsy as needed to rule out other abnormality. So all these diffuse esophageal spasm or scleroderma or achalasia cardia, they all cause dysphagia. Which type? Motility disorder in what? Esophagus. In all these cases, manometry comes first as a diagnostic criteria. You can do barium shallow and rule out other abnormality if you need by endoscopy and biopsy. Thank you.